Hello everybody, welcome into the channel. I'm Tintin57 and we're here to play the Royal Appointment scenario on the brand new Peak Forest Railway DLC, which is released this morning. Welcome into all the regulars, welcome to everybody that's coming over from Railfan TV on the Dovetail side. Appreciate you stopping in to have a look at this scenario with us, and well, you know, let's get underway. That's what everyone's here for. We've got to talk to the station master first. You'll be taking Her Royal Highness on this leg of her journey to Buxton. You'll be following Bobby Micklethwaite in the pilot locomotive, so remain slow and steady. Blow your whistle when you're ready to depart. So slow and steady. This scenario actually is a 4 difficulty out of 5, so it's saying it's a bit of a challenge. So I don't know what's going to come up. We've probably got Liz and Phil on board somewhere. Let's just have a look if we can see her anywhere. I'm looking for somebody with a crown on. There's plenty of people on board. I don't see anybody in royal robes or a big hat or anything like that. They're here somewhere though. But nevertheless, they want to get to Buxton, so let's do our first task, which is to set the head code, which will designate us as the Royal Train. There's our pilot. That pilot is going to go away and clear the line for us so we can get straight through. This is impregnable. Each of these Jubilees have got a name. And there's our driver. I'm sure that the station master said it was Bobby Micklethwaite, so this lady's name is Bobby. And she'll be on her way anytime. Right, let's get this set up. Put all these lamps on, ready to go, all white. That's it. Sit in the driver's seat. So today we're in Rodney, is the one we're driving, and backing us up is the Nova Scotia. So let's jump in. That's interesting. We've got no firemen. And I have got it set to automatic firing. I'm not confident enough yet to do the manual firing. I think that is a different kettle of fish altogether. So I'm assuming the fireman has been left out in error. So hopefully that will get fixed. I think we've seen that before on Spirit of Steam, and it was fixed. Anyway, not to worry. We need to blow the whistle to say we're ready to depart, which we are. 2 blasts of the whistle to release the brakes. There goes the pilot Loco. We'll get ourselves ready to go, get the reverser forwards to 75. I won't take the brakes off just yet. We've got a red signal. There goes the pilot Loco. So we're going straight through to Buxton today. Buxton Midland, platform 5. That's 23 miles. I'll just quickly show you. We're down here at Ambergate, right at the bottom end of the map. And we're coming up here. Buxton is here, where our target symbol is. If you go off to the right up here, this is where Chinley is. So you've got Chinley up there, Buxton, Ambergate. So we've got a full run up to Buxton. Now, on the feed, you'll also find I did a run earlier in... Well, it was a bit of a rail tour. I won't give it away. I'll let you go and watch it. But we did a rail tour from Chinley all the way down to Ambergate in this direction in something a little bit special from the Creates Club. So I'll let you go and have a look at that, but I think you'll enjoy that one. But today we're in the Jubilees, and we'll just wait for this this red light to change. There we go. All ready. Let's get the brakes off. Put a little bit of regulator in there. We don't roll backwards. Brakes are just starting to come off. And we should start rolling. There we go, so we're underway. So next stop is Buxton. What we can do is now close the cylinder cocks now that we're underway. So we've got our first red coming up in 800 yards. So I'm going to assume that the pilot Loco has gone ahead and will be clearing the line. So it could be that some trains ahead of us are making way for us and will be pulling over to the side. So that could be the reason for this being a 4 out of 5 difficulty. There could be a number of surprise reds, I think. Let's see as we start off. Lovely day for a run up to Buxton. I don't know where the Queen has been, how she finds her way here at Ambergate, but not to worry. We could have a very young Prince Charles on board, I suppose, couldn't we? We'll have a bit of whistle action. My favourite whistle in the game, by the way, is in the new Fowler 4F, which is also part of this DLC. So if you got the DLC, go and check out the Fowler. The first thing you need to do is just blow the whistle. It is the best whistle in the game, bar none. Best out of any of the warnings, the horns or the whistles. Not just confined to whistles. Go and try it, you'll see what I mean. Right, I'm going to close the regulator, we're going to roll up to this red. And we'll start to put a little bit of brake in. So this is 1963. We've got Morris Miners going up and down. There we go. The other thing to look for as well on the, we won't be stopping very much on this one, I don't doubt. I think we're going to go straight through to Buxton, but if you have a look on the platforms, just as we get the green light there, some of the passenger models have been updated. So we've got new passengers. We've got an old gentleman and an old lady. They appear on the stations. We've also got passengers doing new things, such as reading newspapers, which is quite neat, and they're actually turning the pages. It's very, very neat. So the passengers are developing on, aren't they, between DLCs, which is nice to see. And of course the clothing has been updated. We've got gentlemen wearing flared trousers. We've got ladies in flowered blouses. All good stuff. All good for the immersion. Okay, underway again. We've still got 22 miles to go. We're due in at 10 past 4. It's 8 minutes past 3 currently. So we got plenty of time to get 22 miles, barring any surprises. And this is a nice day. I think we'll open this. Yeah, our fireman's definitely gone AWOL, but we seem to be managing, so that's alright. So how are you guys enjoying the DLC so far? I think at the time this video is going out, I think the PC players may not have got their hands on it just yet, but I know the console players are able to access from 10 AM, so hopefully you've had a good chance to play it, and PC players, hopefully you've had a chance to watch plenty of YouTube throughout the day until it comes to your time to get your hands on it. And I hope everybody is excited for it. It certainly is a very good route. And it's so different to Spirit of Steam. It's just got a different vibe to Spirit of Steam. Lovely. Right, let's open it up slightly. We've got 1.2 miles to the next signal, so we should be good in the short term. Let's open the regulator. All the way up to 100. So the boiler pressure is good. I'm just going to dial back the reverser slightly to about 50. Excellent. So there's over 100 services in the game across the Jubilee, the 8F on the freight runs, and the Fowler 4F. The 4F actually did a video on that earlier in the first look earlier this morning. I really like the 4F. It does some short services in the game. And I'm speeding, so I need to just bring that back a little bit. But the 4F is something different, and it's quite an easy train to drive as well. A lot easier than the 8F and the Jubilee. So if you are a beginner to steam trains in TSW, then you might want to start with the 4F. There is a station cat. Look at that. What is he doing sat there? That's very dangerous. Oh dear me, I've never seen that before. That's an alternative to passengers walking on the track, isn't it, that we've seen sometimes? So that was Whitestone Well that we went through. That was Whitestone Well signal box. I was distracted by the cat, to be honest. Got some coal trucks here over on the right hand side. There are also the ICI hoppers in the game, which are new to this DLC. Not seen any of those yet, but I'll call those out if we do see those stood at the side. Limestone being a big part of this route, industry-wise. There's also a 20-minute introduction tutorial to semaphore signalling, which I actually found quite interesting, because before this I didn't really know a lot about semaphore signalling. I'm not used to it at all, and that 20-minute introduction was well worth taking part in. So go and have a look at those. If you're looking for the actual Loco introductions, those are in the training centre directly, not in the listing for the training for the route. So the training for the route has got 3 tutorials. The Loco training is in the training centre, which is what we've come to be used to now with TSW3 going forwards. All the Loco training is going to be there at the training centre. So 20 miles to go. We've got a green coming up. Hopefully everybody's having a nice relaxing ride. What I should have done is turn the lamp on just before we go into these tunnels. There's a few tunnels along the route. Just help us see a little bit more. Past the old water treatment works there. There's always one. That's becoming a regular feature now, isn't it, in Train Sim World? On the various routes. Okay, good. The boiler pressure's good. Speed's good. I don't want to take it all the way up. because I'm nervous of sudden red lights. Got those hills coming into view that I mentioned at the beginning. Some really nice scenery. So let's just pan through the various views that we've got. This is quite a good one. Oh, we've got the classic head out. See the signal there. Got a 50 coming up, which is fine. And here, I don't know who plays here, but we've got football pitches, but we've also got a bit of a grandstand over there. So anybody know who plays football there? The fact it's got a grandstand, it must be a legit team. I don't know who that is. So I don't know if that is a league team or it's a league team that's gone, you know, defunct by now. This is 1963, of course. But I'd be interested to find out who plays there. Any of you that are local to this line might be able to answer that. Just letting the boiler recover. I've just put the regulator down to 0. You can see the needle coming up now to the maximum. The safeties will kick in. So there you go. You can just hear them now. So the volume of the safeties, by the way, the safety valves has been decreased, and we have got a yellow coming up. So they're not as loud as they were. Apart from the 4F, I noticed the 4F earlier was quite noisy still. So whether that just needs a little bit more adjustment, I'm not sure, but yeah, it's quite noisy. I'll be very cautious as we go through Matlock, just in case. Well, we've got a green now, so we're good. We can carry on. Matlock Bath, this is. We've got a Matlock and a Matlock Bath. Right, we'll pick up some speed again, I think. I'm suspicious that something's going to happen on this run. Something we don't quite expect. It's all been too good to be true so far, and we've only got 17 miles to go. So any of you that have been playing this DLC today, got any particular favourite scenario or service, or out of the 3 stock locos that come with the route, any particular favourite? As I've mentioned, the 4F, even though I've only played a little bit of the 4F, I think that's rapidly becoming my favourite out of the 3. Let's just take a passenger head out view. Oh, I just saw someone jump in front of the train. Oh dear. So far we've had one person on the rails and we've had a cat on the rails as well. Oh, here is a red coming up. hopefully we can stop in time. Got just over 350 yards. I think we should be good. So there is the reason for the 4 out of 5 difficulty. There's sudden reds that you get about 500 yards warning to the red. So I guess the station master was right at the beginning that take it slow and steady. So I've over braked a little bit, so we can use the large ejector to get the brakes to where they need to be. There we go. We'll just pull up to this red just as the rain starts to fall. Okay, we're good. Signal's changed in our favour, so now I've done that, I'm expecting a couple more reds like that to come up, so I'll have to just maintain the same kind of caution, I think, going forward, because you don't get the usual British 2 yellows, yellow and then a red, it seems, on this route. Coal is getting wet. I would assume in real life we have a tarpaulin or something that we can pull over the top of the coal so it doesn't get wet. Still got 16 miles up to Buxton. So a big patch last week as well for Spirit of Steam with some of the improvements that have been introduced in this DLC backported into Spirit of Steam. I haven't been back on Spirit of Steam yet. I've been busy with this, but hopefully some of you guys have been playing Spirit of Steam and are enjoying it once again. Maybe a few of you were playing it in preparation for this DLC coming out, because I know I was. About a month or so I went back to Spirit of Steam after quite a break actually. I'd realised I'd not driven a steam train in quite a long time, so went back, started having a practice, got used to the controls again, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. I do like that route. I think this one's better though. I'm going to stick my neck out. That's just my personal choice. I like both of them, of course, but if you're asking me to choose, I think this one's got a little bit more variety. All right, doing pretty good. Looks as if we've got someone pulled over for us to let us by. Got another Jubilee there waiting to go out. So it's quite good that the traffic is pulling over for us. Still got 14 miles to go, so it's quite a good run this, up to Buxton. I will close the regulator because we've got a 45 coming up. A few coaches there waiting. I don't know if that is a coach works or just a depot. Not sure. Just put a little bit of brake in so I can get to this 45. Yeah, some of these signals are quite close together, so you don't get much warning once you get a red. So if you're running this scenario, just take your time, get the Queen there in one piece. That's all she'll ask for. Oh, look at this one, you see, 200 yards. This one's going to be tight. This one's going to be very tight. "51 yards to spur to the red." Oh dear me. So remember that, we're at Roseley. So as you approach Roseley on this scenario, keep it in mind, I did not expect that one. Now, unless I misread the semaphore signal and it was telling me that that was going to happen, I don't know. Maybe that's me misreading the semaphore signal, but we'll edge forward slightly, I think. Once the brakes are off, that is. Now, it is in the wet, so we are spinning slightly. What we can do, of course, is put the sand on the front, and you see there, immediately we're picking up grip. We'll just edge forward very slowly, I think. Still got 13 miles to go, so room for a few more surprises, I think. Let's turn that off. Now, the thing you have to be careful of, that is our signal. So, you know, normally signals are here on our left hand side, but that is our signal. So that is our red, which has just turned to a green. So let's go. What we'll do is we'll put the sand back on again, I think. Brakes are still coming off. So this is a hill start. Actually, hill start is one of the introductions that is with this DLC. Again, well worth doing that, so you know how to do a hill start. I think there's a few of those, weren't there, in Spirit of Steam? Certainly with the freight services, there were quite a lot of hill starts required. So it takes a bit of skill at first to get to know how to do that, and juggling a few controls, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quick. Can probably turn the sand off. No, don't need that. Bit more regulator. There is a lot of spinning going on with the wet rails. See it there in the hood. Let's have a look down. Can we see any actual spinning? I think it is spinning. Let's put the sand back on. Should hopefully take that away then. Okay, on to Buxton then, 13 miles. Wow, look at this. That's because there's no sand, you see, at the back. So let's just take that down a little bit. So we can sand the front Loco, but not the one in the rear. So that's why we were getting that wheel slip. It's just about opening the regulator little bit by little bit, making sure the train's gripping the whole time. And really, we're not on that much of a gradient, are we? 0.5%. But between that and the rain, it is making us slip a little bit. So just open it slightly more. That's quite a nice view, isn't it? That quite a nice picture. Right, hopefully we can open the regulator a little bit more now. We are on a bit more of an uphill gradient. We've gone to 1%. That's fine. Right, so we've got a mile to the next signal, so I'm ever wary now of what's going to happen. Thanks once again though everybody for coming in and watching the stream. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to go and check out the rest of the channel. Plenty of Train Sim World on there, going back all the way to Train Sim World 2018. There's some quite early stuff on there. We've been playing it for quite a while on channel now. And various other simulators as well. So feel free to go and check that out and subscribe if you like what you see. It'd be great to have you in my little community. .12 miles to Buxton. Still not got any firemen. I don't know what happened to him or her, unless she's locked in there behind the coal doors. But somebody's putting the coal in and it's working, so I'm not going to say too much. Maybe it's cutbacks. Could be on strike, I suppose. Out into the daylight we go. Back of the train still in the tunnel there. Right, I'll just dial back that reverser. So you see the needle now on the boiler, the needle's pointing upwards, the little sort of triangle. So that means that more steam is building up now in the boiler, more pressure back to the boiler, which is good. So that'll make the needle rise up to the limit at 225, ready for when we need that power. It really is a nice looking route, I have to say it. I do like the fact as well that in the houses the chimneys are smoking in some cases as well. That's a nice touch, that. That is Bakewell, home of the Bakewell Torch. So we're actually progressing along nicely. So we're due in at 4:10. That's 30 minutes time, so we've still got 30 minutes, we've only got 10 miles to go. So we get to Buxton with this Royal train, a double header, which is quite unusual. In TSW times, that is, it's quite unusual. So we got the regulator wide open, just got the reverser set to 20 just to recover the boiler. I'm still suspicious of any sudden red lights we're going to get, so I think this is a decent pace to take. We should cover this 9.7 miles in good time. I'm going to hazard a guess we're going to arrive a little bit early, which is perfect for the Queen. We can't keep her waiting. So I don't know whether she's got a connecting service at Buxton or whether she's actually performing a royal visit, an official duty at Buxton. Not sure. It's a little bit late to be arriving for official duty, I suppose, at Buxton. I wonder if she is actually in here. I haven't been for every compartment. Oh, there's one of the new outfits, look. You see the flowery outfit that lady's wearing? That's one of the new outfits for the 60s. I don't know whether she's on board. She may be somewhere. I'm more worried about the cat on the tracks, to be honest. If you run this service, or a scenario I should say, see if that was just happening on mine or whether that was intentional. See if the cat is on the tracks. Let me know if the cat is on the track. I think if there was a cat on the track, purposely, it would have run, wouldn't it, when it heard these two Locos thundering through the tunnel. I think it would have hopped it. Now we just passed a yellow there, a yellow signal. Even though we've got a green coming up in 0.7. So we're going to be cautious because I don't know if that means something. Are we going to get a red after this green? Let's see. That was a strange camera view I got us there, down at the bogies. Right, so here's the green. Another green after this. I'm not quite sure of the significance of the yellow signal. Unless it's asking me to exercise caution because we've got another Jubilee that is moved out of the way for us to pass. Maybe that's why. Not sure. .2 to go. Should be there in no time. We've got a 30 coming up in 2 miles. So I'll show you something else quite neat as well. As I move the regulator in the front Loco, you can see it moves here on the rear one as well. That's quite good. A lot of this this top end of the map actually is uphill. You come down from Chinley down this way, and you know, you can coast it a lot of the way down here because of the hill. Surprising. It's a very hilly route anyway at this end. You can see the surrounding hills, but the actual track itself is we're going uphill for quite a distance actually. So again, you need to be good with the balance of the regulator and the reverser. The rain stopped at least, so we've got no problems with grip anymore. So that's good. It was just a shower. Our 30 miles per hour is approaching, so we're right on speed there. So it seems like this scenario, you know, it's a pretty good scenario. It's just Ambergate to Buxton with the Royal Train. It seems like so far the only difficulty with it is you've got to keep your wits about you with the signalling. That's a bit of a challenge. Just be ready to use the brakes at a moment's notice. Unless I missed a distance signal, we had we had one that gave us 500 yards to stop, and then another that gave us about 250 yards to stop. So if you're cruising along at the line speed, it's going to be a little bit difficult to stop. And right where we needed the 30, I was actually speeding, so because we've come over the top of the hill and now going down. Let me put some brake in. This is Millersdale. A little bit too much brake there, I think. So don't forget, if you do over brake and it's taking a while for the brakes to come off, just open the large ejector and you'll see the needle start to shoot up. Then when it gets to 21 you can close it again. And hopefully you can be underway again before you come to a complete stop. 4.3 to go. Still got 19 minutes, 18 minutes till we arrive. So we haven't been, we haven't been exactly going at breakneck speed, but we're still okay for time. And just noticed I got the sander on still, so it's a good job we've got unlimited sand, isn't it? Which of course wouldn't be the case in real life. Put a bit more power in, I think. So we'll just pick up speed a little bit more. There's an 8F just waiting for us at the junction. Quite nice of him. Oh, this is quite good. Look at this. This is brilliant. Love this. And the way the rocks have been brought into the game like that, the way they've been drawn. Love it. That real, countryside feel to this one, as opposed to Spirit of Steam, which actually, felt very industrial. I thought that did a great job in putting across that old sort of 1950s industrial northwest kind of scene. I think it did well with that. This is a bit brighter. This is a bit more, a bit less soot in this one. So we're making that final approach now into Buxton, 2.8 miles. So in the game, this is a bit unique. There are not many. In fact, I don't know if there are any sort of end-to-end services like this in the timetable. I think the express ones even stop a couple of places. But there is, of course, a scenario planner. I think Matt also did say that they would look later on to possibly change the timetable as well to provide more end-to-end services. But end-to-end is a little bit different because of the way you've got, you got one end, which is Buxton, you got another end, which is Chinley up there. So end-to-end can mean a couple of different things, can't it, as well? Still plenty to do though on this DLC. I think you guys will all enjoy it. And we're only 1.8 out of Buxton. We've got a 40 miles per hour coming up just as we approach the station. And we got another surprise red, so let's get the anchors on. this one's going to be close again, you know. There's the signal. Now you see, we've got the Queen on board. You wouldn't think that we'd be held that long, would you? There it is. We've got a green. Okay, that's good. Let's get the brakes straight off then. This might take a while. We can put in the large ejector to help. Little bit of regulator so we don't roll back. Close that. Just the final bit of brake coming off now. There we go, rolling again. So let's close the cylinder cocks. Of course, the rain started again. Let's do that again. Just put 9%. There we go. You see a little bit of spin there coming from the back engine. We've got a 1% hill, so let's just do what we can. We're only 1.5 miles out of Buxton. We should probably put the power all the way up to 75. It's trying. It's definitely trying. It's picking speed up. You can see though, you know, look at the arms there on the side. The front has got definite grip, whereas the rear, you can see, is helping, but slipping away. Now, I don't know where the top of this hill actually is, or even if there is one. I don't know if it's uphill all the way to Buxton. As we were saying earlier, a lot of this end of the route is hill, but you can see we're picking speed up. Still got 10 minutes to get into Buxton. Speed's picking up now. Still a bit of slip there. So these are the challenges, aren't they, for steam engines? Just balancing all the controls you need to actually move. Watching for wheel slip. Maintaining forward momentum, getting to know the brakes as well, and there is a significant amount of challenge with steam trains over let's say diesels. But at the same time, if you're new to steam trains in TSW, you know, don't be worried about it. You know, it's a learning curve, but you will be able to do it. Got that on the front at the moment. What if I put it on the rear? Does that help the slippage of the back Loco? Doesn't appear to. To the naked eye, see, it looks as if it flattens out around that corner there. but it isn't flattening out at the moment. It's still got 1%. We'll keep persevering for now though. I think we're okay. So I keep trying to open the regulator a little bit more, but it is still slipping. Picking speed up though. So whereas I said we were going to arrive into Buxton quite early, we might not be as early as I originally thought. I think that last red on the 1% hill there has done us a little bit. Just struggling for grip in this rain. So that's a little bit too much regulator. Let me just dial it back a little bit. In fact, the hill's increased here 1.1%, so it's quite steep. Let's have a look. I think we've got grip with both engines though now, which is good. Yeah, speed's increasing a lot quicker. Still got 5 minutes to get into Buxton, got 0.8 of a mile. Hopefully we're green all the way. Got another signalling 0.6 of a mile, so then we should be in the station straight after that. And the Queen can be on her way. In the tunnel we should get a little bit more grip. You can increase the regulator in the tunnel because it's not wet in there. So round this curve and over onto the left, you should see Buxton Station. We'll just take a look. Just over 800 yards to go. So we're due into platform 5 at Buxton Midland. So as I said at the beginning, this is a scenario that is billed as the one with the most challenge. Coming up to the end of it now. I say it was a challenge in places, more so braking than anything else. It does require, you know, a good use of the controls, good balanced use of the controls, both for braking and for actually, you know, speeding up with the rain and the uphill sort of nature of the route. But it also calls for a lot of close observation of those signals. Just make sure that you don't go too fast. Keep your eye on the signals. Be prepared to brake quite quickly, and you know, keep that in mind. You should be okay. And I'm not sure why I've got this stopping marker on. That is usually turned off. But we'll use it as it's on. I didn't see the limestone hoppers anywhere. Actually, I was going to show you the limestone hoppers, and I haven't seen them along the route. The ICI hoppers, unfortunately, so I can't show you those. But this is Buxton, and look at that, we've got a minute to go. We're going to land pretty much spot on time. I don't think the Queen's going to give us a medal for this. There'll have been times where she spilt her English breakfast tea all down her front with some of that braking we needed to do, which wasn't ideal. But the main thing is, we got her and all the party to Buxton in one piece. They can go and enjoy the Buxton spring water and the sheep and whatever else is at Buxton, the decent hill walking. And we've got to wait till 16:10, but 16:10 is seconds away. So all in all, it wasn't a bad run, that. Wasn't a bad run. I quite enjoyed it. That was great work you did today. Let's see how you did. And there's a summary. So it took us an hour and 10. Total score 3,773. So there's plenty of XP there, or AP, if that's your thing. If you're collecting that up for the trophies, etc. So that is Royal Appointment. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very, very much for coming in and for staying with me for the hour and 10 there. Hope you've enjoyed that run. Don't forget to have a look on the channel. We've got plenty more TSW, plenty more Peak Forest, but also TSW going back to TSW 2018 on console. So go and check that out. Plenty of other simulators on the channel. Thanks once again. Enjoy the DLC. That's the main thing. And I'll see you again sometime soon. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.